Just by coincidence, I had really significant interactions in Sydney, Australia, 20 years ago. In February and March 1994, I was a visiting professor in a number of university hospitals in Australia and New Zealand. It was really fun. One thing that I learned is those hospitals have VIP living quarters within the hospital. And it's a really cool place to stay. And I think in most other parts of the world, hospitals don't have something like that, not as nice. So I really enjoyed that time. And I guess the people enjoyed me, because at the end of this period, I was made an honorary member of ANZSN, which is the Australia-New Zealand Society of Nephrology. And so it's kind of cool. I'm a permanent member. I get all the things that members get without having to pay for it, and that's been the case for the past 20 years. So that was 20 years ago in '94. 3 years later, two entities launched NKF Cyber Nephrology, National Kidney Foundation Cyber Nephrology, and the ISN Informatics Commission. And I led both of those, and we announced them then in Sydney, Australia, once again, at the International Congress of Nephrology in May 1997. And believe it or not, you can still hear that speech if you have a PC. If you have a Mac, it doesn't work at all. But if you have a PC, you can listen to that speech. And I always thought that probably my public speaking got gradually better over a period of time, and that it must be pretty lame back then, but it's actually a pretty spirited speech. So that was that. But then skip ahead to this month, October 2014, and there had been a plan for all laboratory practice in northern Alberta. I mean, this is an immense amount of laboratory practice to be consolidated in one facility and to be run by one private provider. And they put out bids for who this private provider would be. And on October 16th, 2014, they announced that it was Sonic Healthcare of Sydney, Australia. So they are a worldwide laboratory medicine company, and they will be running lab medicine in all of northern Alberta for the next 15 to 25 years. It's mandated 15, but they have the opportunity to extend it for another 10. And it's a $3 billion contract. If you consider the 15 years, it's 5 if you consider the 25. So it's a really big deal. And as with any change, there are a lot of fears about this, and people worried, and people saying, well, why couldn't they pick somebody local and all this sort of thing? But I have a different thought, which is that this is an enormous opportunity. And why am I talking about it in this course? Because NKF Cyber Nephrology, my starting that in '97, directly led to this course. It sort of gave me quite considerable funding for a 10-year period to do technology things in medicine. So it naturally led to me creating a course in 2011 on technology and the future of medicine. Now, what are the opportunities? I think that people haven't really thought about the economies of scale that are going to come about. We will be possibly the largest laboratory medicine operation in Western Canada or in North America, who knows? But I mean, it's a degree of centralization that really doesn't exist anywhere else that I know of. There'll be no other player. All lab medicine in the entire northern part of the province will be taking place in one facility, presumably here on the U of A campus. So it seems to me that, we spend a lot of time in this course talking about utopian scenarios. We talk about utopian scenarios in society, utopian scenarios in medicine. No one has really given much thought to utopian scenarios in the laboratory, in laboratory medicine, in pathology. What would that be like if you could create, you could maximize everything, if you could bring technology to its positive peak of what it could do to further laboratory medicine? What would that look like? Some of it you've heard me talk about before. You'd have large interactive touch screens. You'd be practicing pathology not by sitting down at a microscope, but by being up and active and walking around and gesturing at large interactive touch screens. You'd have a virtual pathology setup with artificial intelligence that eventually would be near human level and yet would be friendly, because I can't think of why it wouldn't be friendly. We'd make it friendly. So I think it could be rather an amazing opportunity, and if you make that assumption, you can make a self-fulfilling prophecy and sort of help to create that good outcome. And that's what I'm suggesting that we do here. This is a picture of the Sydney, Australia headquarters of Sonic. So no one seems to be writing about this subject of laboratory utopia, the perfect laboratory. And I think it's well worth thinking about as something to aim toward. The formal start of this new relationship with Sonic, I guess, will be 2017. But things are going to start happening right away. The negotiations take place over the next 8 to 9 months. And I just think it's nice to have some sort of a gleaming, positive goal, something that would make this unique and better than any other laboratory operation in the world. And I think that's possible. With good planning and marketing, an outstanding facility, unlike something anyone has ever seen before, could actually be more profitable with the same initial investment as you would have with an ordinary state-of-the-art but no better facility. So I'm saying, let's make it happen. Carpe diem, seize the day. No one knows when the technological singularity in general is going to occur or where it's going to occur. But maybe in laboratory medicine, we could say that the lab medicine pathology singularity will be in Edmonton, and very soon. Why not? So anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And that's what I wanted to say about the perfect laboratory.